Oklahoma could lose nearly $250 million in SNAP funding, and the clock is ticking. Thanks for joining us for Fox 23 News at 6. I'm Nathan Thompson. Shay has the night off. State Auditor Cindy Byrd says Oklahoma has just 8 months to fix a critical problem with how benefits are calculated, or more than 680,000 Oklahomans could see their food assistance cut. Fox 23's Paige Orr is live in the studio. Paige, this is a complicated problem.
That's right, Nathan, and it all comes down to processing errors in a complex system. The federal government tracks how often the state makes mistakes when calculating benefit amounts or overpaying or underpaying eligible families. Until recently, Washington covered the cost of those errors, but under new federal law, Oklahoma is about to be put on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Part of the big beautiful bill is that if the state doesn't do a good enough job in reducing the amount of errors, if the error rate is over 6%, the state has to start sharing in the actual cost of the program, which could be several $100 million. Right now, we're at over 10% in an error rate. We have to get it below 6%, or that's going to cost us a lot of money.
That 6% mark is the magic number, but currently, Oklahoma's payment error rate is floating near 11%.
SNAP payment error rates are a way to measure if we are getting the exact right amount of benefits to the folks that qualify for SNAP. So that can mean sometimes there's an error in processing the exact amount a family should get.
These aren't fraud cases. They're administrative mistakes. State Auditor Cindy Byrd says if DHS doesn't reduce these calculation errors by October 2027, Oklahoma taxpayers could be on the hook for around $250 million a year.
If all of a sudden there's $248 million that the state has to fund or not, and if it's not funded, that is where we would see the effect. The families that need that SNAP assistance wouldn't have the full amount, and that's where the food banks would see the strain.
We've already seen a preview of this struggle. During a brief SNAP suspension last November, Tulsa nonprofit Food on the Move reported serving nearly 2,000 additional families in a single month. Marlowe says while they stepped up then, a permanent cut is a different beast.
We saw it during the government shutdown. We were able to respond between the two food banks and our partners, and we did a really good job of it. But that's probably not a sustainable model.
Hunger Free Oklahoma says solutions include better staff training, improved data systems, and additional time from the federal government to make those changes. Auditor Byrd says her office is ready to help identify where the system is breaking down.
DHS leaders told lawmakers this week they are already working with consultants to retrain staff and reduce those calculation errors. They have until September 30th to get the numbers down before the federal cost sharing begins. It's important to note these error rates don't measure fraud. They track administrative mistakes in a complex eligibility system. Live in studio covering news that matters, Paige Orr, Fox 23 News.